श्रुतिविप्रतिपन्ना ते यदा स्थास्यति निश्चला समाधावचला बुद्धिः तदा योगमवाप्स्यसि.
Bewildered by sound, when your intellect remains unmoving and fixed in meditation, then you will obtain yoga, union with the self. So, meditation is impossible unless you reach the state of withdrawal from the world. That is why the preparation is verses 51 and 52. And now you are fit for meditation, you meditate. Meditation is defined as the mind focusing on a single thought to the exclusion of all other thoughts under the supervision of the intellect. So, the mind chants with dispassion. The thought flow is just the mantra. The intellect discriminates between the sound and the silence that follows. When you are in deep meditation, on the verge of realization, you meditate till you are so totally focused that the chant stops. You don't stop the chant. The chant stops automatically because your focus shifts from the sound to the silence between the two sounds, and then you get fixed in that silence. There is no need to keep chanting again. So the thought flow stops. The mind is extinct. The intellect, that's what he's talking about. The intellect, which the function of the intellect is merely to discriminate. So far, the intellect is discriminating between sound and silence. When the sound goes, now it's stuck. It's bewildered because it's in unfamiliar territory. There are no two things to discriminate between. There is only silence. That the intellect is jobless. The intellect goes. When mind and intellect are gone, what remains is Atman. You have reached the state of realization. Now, friends, this portion within the second chapter is over. The next portion is the last 19 verses of chapter 2, which deals with a description of a man of realization, of a person who has reached that state of realization. Arjuna asks in verse 54, and the next 18 verses is Krishna's brilliant answer. So, that will be the next portion that we do next year, hopefully. But you don't need to wait for next year. There is a book called The Profile of a Perfect Person, which gives a lengthy introduction to the subject and details the 19 verses. This portion, incidentally, was Mahatma Gandhi's favorite portion. He would chant these 19 verses every day in his prayer meetings. Highly inspiring. So please do help yourself to the book on your way out. As you all know, today is the last day, and we've come to the end of a fabulous 5-day session here. Now, as is the tradition, to indicate that our study has not ended but only begun, we will all together chant the first verse of the chapter.
Sanjaya uvacha tam tatha krupayavishtam ashrupurna kulekshanam vishidantamidam vakyam uvacha madhusudanaha.